Hi, welcome to my channel. It's nearly St. Patrick's Day, so I thought I would do a video on top Irish food. I'm not going to do these in any particular order, but I'm saving the best for last. The greatest Irish food of all time. My favorite food in the world, so make sure you watch to the end so you don't miss that. So first up is the full Irish. This is a big breakfast fry-up. It usually consists of sausages, bacon, eggs, potato farls, mushrooms, baked beans, white pudding, black pudding, and tomato. Disclaimer, I say tomato because my mother is Canadian, that's how I was taught, and in school I got teased so badly for saying tomato, so I decided I'm never going to drop this, I'm always going to say it, so that is why I say tomato, but in Ireland it is tomato. We call it the full Irish in the Republic, but I think in Northern Ireland they call it the Ulster fry, and I think it's pretty typical for families around Ireland to have it on a Sunday morning. It is greasy, it's full of calories, and it is the perfect cure after a Saturday night. Next up is Chipper. This is a fish and chip shop where you can get battered fish, burgers, and the most amazing thick chips or French fries. When you're ordering these, they will ask you salt and vinegar, and the only appropriate response is loads please. The other day my friends and I were walking down the road and we smelled someone somewhere was having Chipper, and the smell was so good it made us all crave it. The smell is potent. Fish and chip shops originated from Italian immigrants. They came to Ireland and from Italy and set up fish and chip shop, which is kind of weird because you don't get Chipper in Italy. Next up is Tayto. Tayto is a brand of crisps beloved by the people of Ireland. The most popular flavors are cheese and onion, salt and vinegar, and smoky bacon. And if you're ever sending a package to an Irish person living abroad, you always throw in a few packs of Tayto. The Irish people love Tayto so much that we even have a theme land for Tayto. It's like our Disneyland. There you can see there a roller coaster on the back of that pack of crisps. That's Tayto Park. So yeah, a theme park dedicated to our favorite pack of crisps. This is why I love Ireland. And this brings me to my next one, which is a crisp sandwich. A crisp sandwich is an Irish delicacy. It's just 2 slices of bread, some Irish butter, and a pack of crisps. People can be very particular about the specifics, but I think the standard is the bread should be Brennan's White, the butter should be Kerrygold, and the crisps should be cheese and onion Tayto. But some people prefer King's crisps, some people prefer salt and vinegar, but overall we all love a good crisp sandwich. In fact, they've become the most popular wedding midnight feast. Some crisp sandwich packets, and Aer Lingus even had crisp sandwiches in their in-flight menus. I've yet to meet an Irish person that doesn't love a crisp sandwich. So I mentioned Kerrygold. Kerrygold is Irish butter, and I think you can get this pretty much everywhere in the world. I don't think you can only get it in Ireland. And the reason Irish butter is supposed to be so amazing is because our cows are grass-fed from the best quality grass due to our mild weather and our high rainfall. I don't know about all that, but I do know that some Kerrygold melted on some Brennan's White toast is absolutely amazing. And when you're having that, an Irish person will always have a cup of tea beside them. And there is the great debate in Ireland about which tea is better, Barry's or Lyons. There are 2 different types of Irish tea, and people are very passionate about which is better. Every Irish person is either Barry's or Lyons. Next up is maybe a controversial one. It is Coddle. I had never heard of Coddle before I met my husband. He's from Dublin, and I think it's even called Dublin Coddle. I don't know if people outside of Dublin really have it. He made it for me once, and it was sausages, bacon, potatoes, carrots, onions in a broth, kind of like a stew. It was a big no from me. But then loads of my Dublin friends are absolutely obsessed with Coddle. They love it. So I think it's a real love-hate thing. Maybe if you're from Dublin and it's one of those comfort foods that your grannies used to make, then you love Coddle. But outside of Dublin, if you've never heard of it before, you've never had it, you do not like it. No offense to anyone that loves Coddle. It's just not my cup of tea. Next up is one that I think all Irish people can agree is absolutely amazing, and it is a chicken fillet roll. It is a white bread roll with some fried chicken on it, and the rest of the fillings are up to you. You can get lettuce, tomato, cheese, coleslaw, mayonnaise or butter. There's no great debate over what are the best fillings or it needs to have this or that, and people tend to be pretty respectful of other people's choices of fillings in chicken fillet rolls. And then leading on from that, if it's too early for a chicken fillet roll or if you haven't had breakfast, you can get a breakfast roll. And it's the same thing, a white bread roll, but with parts of a full Irish on there. So you can get some sausages, some bacon, eggs, whatever you want. Some people go all out and they get the full Irish right there on the breakfast roll. Yeah, Irish people love a breakfast roll, and we love it so much. There was even a song about it called Jumbo Breakfast Roll. I'm not even kidding, and it went to #1 in Ireland. Next up is some sweet foods. First, there is the Mikado. These are biscuits with marshmallow down the side, some jam in the middle, and some coconut flakes on top. I think every kid's birthday party in Ireland in the 80s and 90s featured a plate of Mikado biscuits. Then there are Kimberleys, which are kind of a biscuit sandwich or cookie sandwich. 2 ginger biscuits with some marshmallow filling on the inside. Then some coconut creams, a biscuit topped with some marshmallow and coconut flakes. Some pink wafers, just wafers with some cream in the middle. These are all Jacobs. Jacobs is a brand in Ireland, and I think they've been making these things for like 150 years. And Jacobs also make cream crackers, and cream crackers are such an amazing snack. You can have them with butter, cheese, ham, jam. My husband is obsessed with Jacobs cream crackers, and we usually go through, well, he'll usually go through like 2 or 3 packs of them a week. Next up is Superquinn sausages, and Superquinn is an Irish supermarket chain, or it was. It actually closed down a few years ago, and there was uproar amongst the Irish people about we cannot lose the Superquinn sausages. So even though we lost Superquinn, I think it changed to Super Value. I think it just kind of changed the name, changed the branding, but it still kept the Superquinn sausages, and these are the most amazing sausages. I know for my hen party a few years ago, we went to the Alps, and someone brought Superquinn sausages in their suitcase for our Irish fry on the Sunday morning, and they were the greatest thing. I think it was the highlight of the hen party. Next up is a 3-in-1, and you can get a 3-in-1 from Chinese takeaways, and it's 3 things in a foil container, and it is chips, rice, and curry sauce. Oh god, that is what it looks like. They're not the most nutritious, but they're great when you just want something easy and dirty. And you can also get 4-in-1s that come also with chicken balls in them, or shredded chicken. And just to mention, another easy and dirty one is curry chips. It's just chipper chips with curry sauce on them, and this is a big one in Ireland as well. In fact, Tayto actually did a flavor called curry chips crisps. I've never tried them. I don't know if I want to. Another one to mention is garlic cheesy chips. Again, chipper chips with some garlic sauce and some cheese on them. These things are the kind of things that you would get after a night out, you know, after a few drinks, on your way home from the pub, you'll stop in a takeaway and get something like this. I remember for years, my friend, every single night we went out, she insisted on getting her garlic cheesy chips on the way home. And you might regret it in the morning, but it was worth it at the time because they taste so good. Next up is Club Orange. This is a fizzy orange juice drink. You could kind of compare it to Fanta, but they taste totally different. And the main difference is that Club Orange has real bits, I think like real fruit bits. And this was invented in the 1930s in Ireland, and it was hugely popular. So then they invented Club Lemon. So kind of the same thing, just lemon flavored. And then the story goes that a group of sea swimmers in Blackrock in County Dublin, after their sea swim, they used to mix these together and they tasted so good. So the company created a rock shandy, which is these two mixed together. And the reason it's called rock shandy is because the swimmers were from Blackrock. So there you go. Bet you never knew that before. Next up is soda bread. I am a huge fan of soda bread. You usually get it with alongside your soups or seafood chowders. You can have it with jam, with butter, smoked salmon. I always make soda bread. I actually made some yesterday just for this video, and every time I make it, I always think it'll last a few days, but it was eaten in an hour. Happens every single time because it tastes so good. And then I mentioned there smoked salmon. Irish smoked salmon is another big one. It's a big seller in Irish airports. We used to go to Italy for Christmases when we were kids, and on the way there we'd always make sure to get some Irish smoked salmon. You can get smoked salmon in Italy obviously, but the Irish smoked salmon, there's just something about it. It's just so good. Next one is one that people probably associate most with Ireland, and that is Guinness. Guinness is a big one. I know you can get Guinness pretty much everywhere in the world, but they say a Guinness just tastes better in Ireland. And one theory about that is because Guinness in an Irish pub, you know that it'll have been flowing all day, so what you're getting is fresh. Whereas in other countries, Guinness might have been sitting for a while in pipes. And then also in Ireland, we take it very seriously. So you know you'll be getting the right glass, the right temperature, the right head. I'm not really a fan of Guinness. I don't like drinking it that often, but I always make sure to have the traditional sip on St. Patrick's Day. Next up is another one that's hugely associated with Ireland, and that is boiled bacon and cabbage. Now I gotta be honest with you, I have never had that. And then I asked some of my friends and they never had it. So I was like, this is a myth. Nobody eats that in Ireland. So I started researching it, and I came across a poll that 64% of Irish people would say that is, you know, the main Irish meal, and 30% of Irish people when they're traveling abroad, they crave it. So I don't know if it's just not popular where I am, or if it's bigger in other places in Ireland. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys eat boiled bacon and cabbage? I'm really curious about this one. Next up is Meanies, and these are a pickled onion corn snack. And I actually have a ton of corn snacks to show you guys here. Hot Lips, which is a spicy one. Not sure what the flavor is, but it's spicy. Chickatees, which is chicken flavor. Burger Bites, which is a burger flavor. My husband loves these, so we always have to have some burger bites in the house. And some Mighty Munch. They used to be called Monster Munch when we were kids. When I was a teenager, I wasn't really into the chicken fillet roll or the breakfast roll. I had my Mighty Munch roll. So I used to get just a bread roll with butter and Mighty Munch on it. I used to have these every day in school because I hated the school dinners. I haven't had them in years, but now that I'm talking about them, I'm kind of craving it, so I think I'm gonna have that later. Oh, and I also want to give a special shout out to Banshee bones. I tried finding them for this video and I found out they were discontinued a few years ago, and I'm a little bit brokenhearted about it. They were salt and vinegar and they were so good. So RIP Banshee bones. Next up is Poitín, which is like Irish moonshine. It dates back to the 6th century, and poach actually means excessive drinking in Irish. And Poitín is absolutely lethal. So it was actually made illegal in the 17th century, but that didn't stop Irish people from making it. They just made it in secret. But it was legalized again in 1997. You just have to have a license to make it. But a lot of people argue that it's not real poitín if it's not an authentic home brew. I tried it once, someone brought a bottle of it to a party once and I had a sip. I don't remember much about it except that it was one of the strongest drinks I've ever tasted. Next up is a batter burger. I got this to show you guys. It's basically a hamburger patty that's been deep fried, and then a Wurly burger is a batter burger with the bun and with all the toppings of a regular burger. I've never tried either of them, but the invention of the Wurly burger has been described as the greatest moment of our time, along with walking on the moon. So I don't know, I don't really want to try it, but next up is Ballymaloe relish. This is an amazing Irish relish, and you can have it on sandwiches, on burgers, potatoes, cheese. Irish people love it so much that some pizza shops even offer it as, instead of tomato sauce, you can get Ballymaloe relish sauce. And then McDonald's had a special for a while, which is a burger called McMore, and that had Ballymaloe relish on it. It has its place in Irish people's hearts. Next up is Bailey's. This is an Irish cream liqueur. You can add it to things like coffee, hot chocolate, ice cream. But one popular shot is called a baby Guinness shot, and it looks like a pint of Guinness but in a little shot glass, and it is coffee liqueur with some Baileys on top. I haven't had one in years, but whenever we had baby Guinness shots, it was always a good night. Next up is some chocolate. This is a Butlers chocolate, and Butlers is probably one of the most well-known chocolate brands in Ireland, but I think in Irish people's hearts, really, Cadbury's is the #1 chocolate. Yeah, You can't beat Cadbury's. And then my last one, the greatest Irish food of all time, it is the spice bag. This was invented in a Chinese takeaway in Dublin about 10 years ago, and now you can get them in pretty much every Chinese takeaway shop. It's basically shredded chicken with some fried chips, kind of all mixed together with the spice. That's what it looks like in there. Sometimes you can get it with some peppers and some chili peppers, some onions, things like that. I am such a huge fan of spice bags. I love them, and I've tried and tested a lot. And the best spice bag in Ireland, in my opinion, is Andrew's Takeaway in Kilcool in County Wicklow. It is the greatest spice bag I've ever tasted. This isn't Andrew's, unfortunately, because Andrew's is closed at the moment due to COVID. There you can kind of see a handful of what it looks like. So spice bag gets my vote for top Irish food of all time. Please let me know in the comments below what your favorite Irish food is, and also let me know if I missed anything. I'd love to know if there's some great Irish foods that I forgot about or left off the list. So that is it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye!